Cool, cool, cool. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chief Warbird, and this is Apache Underground. And we have got on the line today special guest Fonz. Fonz, say what's up to the people.
What bracket, peeps?
What's brackin' peeps? Okay, so today we're gonna go over a quick couple of things right now. Um, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, Wrangell Terrace Park. You know, we're balling out there. It's in Vista, California. Come out there. We're out there 6 p.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That's number one. Number two is that all of our stuff is up and running. We have got our stock in, and for orders, go ahead and give us a call or email for now. And anything else? Any other morning announcements there,
No,
Fonz?
no, no.
All right, perfect.
Not that I know right now.
All right, so we're just going to go right into it, and we're going to be discussing today why Apache Underground is better entertainment. You know, I've been surfing the internet and Instagrams and the Facebooks just like everybody else does, right? And what I'm noticing is they are just throwing everything that they can at you about their agenda, you know? And I'm tired of it. I'm fed up. And I said, you know what? I could do better. And then I looked at myself. I was like, you know what? You can do better. And you know what? Here we are. So we're here. This is Apache Underground, and you know this is the topic for today. You know, it's like what makes us better, Fonz?
Well, see, that's going to be subject to an opinion, right? But there's opinion and there's facts with it. So everything is subject to interpretation. And when we talk, you and I talk, and when we say that we're doing things better, we're doing things based off of the things that you and I relate to, right? And you and I relate to what God's word is. And so for those of you that relate to God's word and what God's promises are, what God's laws are and directives and his way of life for us is, that's why we say it's better, because we're not in the world like that. That's, the secularism, all those things. I'm not talking about religion. I'm just talking about the culture that has been allowed to spew itself all over, our continent.
Right.
And so,
It's like quality, right? You know, it's like what
right,
happened to the quality? And I'll tell you what happened. You know, we got a bunch of, and no disrespect, you know what I mean? But we got a bunch of foreigners that came over here and they wanted to start, being in the government and doing this and that. And, it is what it is. I get it. You know, thanks for the help. We appreciate it. But, like, we have things covered. You know, we had things cool running the way things were, for a long time. And I don't want this new thing that they're trying to push on me. You know, I don't want it. You know, get it away from me. You know, it's like how am I supposed to remove myself or distance myself from something it's creeping its way into my vision every single day.
well, and that's exactly the whole point, is that, the fight is that everybody wants equal rights. Well, that's fine. So everybody has equal rights, but
I want everybody to
we
do equal work too.
well, on that side of it, okay, everybody do equal work. Now, the thing is
But is
that
that going to
you want
happen?
to have, you want to have your channels, you want to have, this make believe idea that doesn't work, And we know it doesn't work because other civilizations before us have tried it. You know, the Pompeys, the Romes, the what was the Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, all these other civilizations, they've tried to exist within each other, but we know it doesn't work. And so why doesn't it work? Because, you know, at the end of the day, if you look at it with honest eyes, you know it's disgusting. And there's only so much you can put up with until it's time for it to be removed. I'm going to just really quick give you a story that just came into my head right now. It wasn't something that I was planning to say, but, you know, I lived in Lemon Grove. And in Lemon Grove, before there was a lot of housing, we had a place called Miller's Ranch. And Miller's Ranch was known for its cow farm, and it was a milk farm. And we used to get milk delivered to us, which was great. We would get milk delivered to us in these bottles, these glass bottles, and it was fresh milk delivered daily or whenever we put the orders in, you know, from this ranch. Or you could go to the ranch and go buy the milk from there, go pick it up, right? And it was great until more people started moving into Lemon Grove and they started getting tired of the cow smell. And so it was working until more people started coming to the city. It's a small little town. And people were putting up with the smell for a little while until they got tired of the smell and they started going to the city council and fighting the Millers over their ranch. And so finally the Millers were forced to sell. And they took all that out. They took out the ranch and they put homes there. Now Miller's Ranch is known for like the uppity part of Lemon Grove with nice homes, and you got rid of the cow smell, right? And so what worked for a little while during a certain part of time or season didn't work in another season.
But I'll tell you what did work. Now that I'm hearing that story, you know, that's nothing but you know, power in numbers. You know what I mean? A person, he had his ranch, his land, his thing right there, and then next thing you know, a bunch of neighbors didn't like what he was doing on his ranch. He was minding his own damn business. They band together and, you know, they talk him out of there. You know what I mean? Because he agreed to leave. You know, he sold. You know, like, so it's, they talked him out of it. You know, like, but at the same time, you know, if those people didn't band together and gang up on him, would that have ever happened in the first place?
Well, yeah, and then, you know, I don't know the specifics because I was a kid, but I remember that happening. And just like there was people that was for it, there was people that was against it. And again, these were people that were coming in from other parts of the country and other parts of the state, you know, moving into Lemon Grove and ruining what was our culture, but because they wanted something new. And so then, you know, that happened. Now, if we look at history, at no point in history has what this group of people that's forcing themselves upon us has never been anything but an abomination. It's never been anything but an abomination.
Right, and you know, like,
and we've had
I understand what you're saying, dude. Like, and I agree with you. It is an abomination, right? But now that it's an abomination, and now that people are starting to recognize that it's gross, people are looking for leadership. They want to know how to combat it. They want to know what's right and what's wrong about this subject. You know what I mean? Because everybody's telling them, hey, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. But that's the lie, right? So if there is something
Right.
wrong with it, there has to be a solution to it as well, because
100%.
I believe it's a problem. You know what I mean? Like it's not natural.
And I think,
It's not
and
natural.
most people do.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So
I know most people do.
so with that being said, like people are looking for leadership. People are looking for someone to tell them it's okay to not like that shit, and be straight faced about it, and not care what anybody else thinks about it. Thinks about me. It's like I don't care what those people think about me, because those people don't matter to me. You understand? They've already given up on themselves, and that's why they're doing the stuff that they're doing. You know what I mean? And they can be saved. You know what I mean? They can be saved, but I'll save that for the preachers and those type of people. But right now they need to hear, what's up, and they can go ahead and get that from me, because I'm not going to save them. You know what I mean? I mean, if they hear what I have to say, and they say it themselves or something like that, that's great. You know what I mean? But no, I'm not there to. I'm not here to pick up anybody.
Yeah, and I was talking to a friend yesterday, and he's like, "Oh, well, first it wasn't about cancel culture. Now it's about cancel culture." And these are just things that people start to say, cancel culture. It's like, this is just shit that people put out there, and then everybody starts to latch onto what's being said, and then they call it cancel culture. It's like, well, it's what's good for a society and what's not good for a society. And at the end of the day, when we talk about freedom, we're free to a certain extent. I mean, let's not lie about that.
Right. There's just because you're free doesn't mean you should go out and do anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
A long time ago, God spoke the Bible into existence. You know what I mean? And here we are, thousands and thousands of years later, and still following the same rules, and all those rules is just for a person's best interest. You know what I mean? When you follow those rules, it takes the burden off of your shoulders, okay, and gets rid of all the stuff that's the weight that would be on your mind if you were out there performing these dirty, nasty acts that he's clearly telling you not to do. One sin is no better than the other, but at the same time, no one sin is worse than the other too. But there's certain sins that I just won't do. You understand? So it's like everybody has to be lenient. Also, everybody has to be strict at the same time. I'm strict because I want to go to heaven. You know what I mean? That's why I act and do the things that I do. You know what I mean? So but I'm free at the same time, because I have a line in the sand. I have a standard. That's what makes me free, is the rules that I live by, and those are the simple ones that were given to me, thousands of years ago.
Well, and that's what I was talking to one of my boys yesterday, and really he's adopted. He's an adopted, a redheaded stepchild, so to speak, right? He came into our family through a relative of mine, and these are the people that I was exposed to, and so I care about these people, but the ignorance that exists in this person's mind is real, and he'll go on there and he'll go on to my page as an example, and he'll start to tell me things like I'm tripping. And it's like, well, you're talking about laws, right? And that there's laws, but where did the moral law come from? Where did law come from? And the thing is that in his ignorance, he has no understanding of what he's trying to tell me, because he's allowed himself to stay at a level, and because he's a certain age above me, he thinks that because he's in that age bracket, he already knows everything he needs to know, and there's no more learning to be had. And it's like, well, I'm telling you, and again, the Bible, the Lord said it very clearly. A prophet in his own hood, is null and void. People don't listen to me because they saw me growing up. They heard the way that I did things, and I did things, and all that other stuff. So they're judging me. They're prejudging me based off of whatever they already put in their minds of who they think I am. But they're not listening to what I'm telling them when it's about this freedom and this law. We are a nation of laws, but the laws came from the idea of one nation under God. The principle came from one nation under God. That's the principle of all of the things that this nation was allowed to be based off of, despite the sin that it did, and how it was created, right? Because God has something against everybody. But the thing is that when we're looking at what God, if we're under God, we're under those laws, Old Testament and New Testament, right? And so when we're talking about a specific thing that's popping up, like cancer, we are warning everybody, like, look, we know what the historical data is on this, and we're telling you that if you don't, because you asked the question, like, people need leadership, right? People need answers. And what's the solution? The solution is to pick up the information for yourself and read it for yourself, so you understand that there is a God that will absolutely deal with every single one of us. And he will deal with the nation. And what he has given, he surely can and will take away if we don't stay right. That's the bottom line. And that's where we're at. And that's the trumpet that's being, touted right now for everybody to listen.
Okay,
why do we do it better?
That's perfect. So now the people have the information. The people have the example. Okay. People, I guess, will find leadership where they find it. Okay, and that's cool. Now, what are some actions that we need to take in order to move this thing along, and more in order to get to that bracket where you're at, like in order to be on someone's level, you know what I mean? Like, what are you telling me I need to do? Like, what are the actions I need to take? I mean, I already wake up every morning, and this is, like I'm saying on purpose, right? So I already wake up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, right? Like I stretch and I do my meditations. I spend a couple hours in the gym. I come home and I eat, good, so my body has the nutrients it needs to recover. You know what I mean? I lift weights when I can, even though I'm extra tired. You know what I mean? I as far as it comes to rest and stuff like that, like I'm resting my feet, my sore, parts and everything. Like I try to get out there and I try to give everybody, good quality information. I do my best to, when I'm engaged in a certain activity, is to do it, with a presence, full presence, and effective. and be efficient about it. You know what I mean? So like what else can I be doing that will bring me to the next level? You know, I save, I spend, like I invest, I do everything I need to do. So, like you could tell me, right, and this thing, but like me as an individual, I know what it is that I'm doing, and what I'm doing is I'm just trying to be a good example for somebody else. That's it. That's it.
Right. Right. And that's all we can be is the living example, the living word of God for somebody else. And through our actions, understanding that when we say through our actions, and this is where religion and has always gone wrong. And it's important. That's why it's so important that you read and study and train and do these things for your, so you can compare them to yourself and say, does this profit me? Does putting a cigarette in my mouth and smoking and smelling this carcinogen improve the quality of my life? Does drinking this 12 pack or this 8-ball or whatever improve the quality of my life? Not just taking our words for it, it's comparing it to the quality of life that you're seeking that's already in you, because that's not something that I can put in you or you can put in, you can get it from somebody else. You can only get that from God himself, which is from the very point of conception. When we're born,
you have to understand what it is.
Excuse me?
You have to understand what it is.
Well, that's the thing.
What it is to know what you're speaking about.
The problem is always going to be that we have people teaching shit that they shouldn't be teaching. They should still be learning, and they need to shut themselves up and stay in line until they understand the responsibility of what it takes to speak about the things that we're talking about and to teach people about these things. And really what it comes down to, right direction, right? Because it's like, okay, well, we've gone down this path. I've gone down many paths, and I have found out for myself that a lot of these preachers, a lot of these teachers were absolutely wrong.
Well, I mean, bro, it's like this. It's like many times. Okay, so your body is your character. You know what I mean? Your body is your character. What you do with your body, your body's environment is what your character does. Produces, shows for itself. You know what I mean? If you got only what you have and you're not happy with it, it's because that's you. That's your character. You know what I mean? That's what you brought to the table. You know what I mean? If you're not happy with yourself, that's what you're bringing to the table. Like, how do you expect anybody else to be happy around you if you can't even be happy with yourself? You know what I mean? And then people are going to hear that and be like, well, I get that. I understand that. But, like, now I need help. Tell me how to be better. Tell me how to be better. Well, the first thing is it's exclude the things that are causing you to be and feel like you could be and feel better. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, what are those things? Well, one is beer. You know what I mean? For example, I used to drink a lot, right? And I used to drink beer. And when I drink beer, like I drank a lot of it because, like it doesn't get you hammered like liquor, but I drink a ton of beer, so that's a ton of calories. So I got fat, right? And then not only was I fat. I couldn't sleep because you go to when you pass out, when you drink to the point of passing out, you wake up at whenever your body has recovered. You know what I mean? It's like you're passing out because your body couldn't take that shit anymore. It said, "I turn off." You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it wakes up when you able to live again. You know what I mean? So that's why they call it passing out. So then I pass out and wake up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, thirsty. So obviously it dehydrated me because or else I wouldn't be thirsty. And why am I waking up at an odd hour, like 3 o'clock in the morning? Like shouldn't be closer to like my normal time, waking up at 5 or 6 or whatever. Or when the daylight starts coming up, right? That's 5 o'clock for me. And once I get there, the clock doesn't change for me. It keeps going, right? So boom. And then that'll roll into your day, and then you'll skip a workout and this, that, and the other. But so snowball effect, right? So it's one thing leads into another. So now if you stop doing one thing and you start focusing on the thing that you want to do instead, you're gonna completely change the outcome of that day or your future. And it's really simple to see. It's really easy to notice and to comprehend. And I honestly believe it's just people needing to change their mindset and just open up and be available to learn a new way of doing things.
And see, what I want to make sure on my part, as far as understanding the responsibility of what we're talking about right now, the one of the things that I've learned is that there's no such thing as one size fits all in population. Everybody is different and has different needs, and has a different level of understanding. So, on this note, I am going to plug myself in for a sec. I'm a holistic health professional, and what I do is I do free consultations, and I talk to people or to you one-on-one about your specific situation, and then I help you with your specific situation because you're different than everybody else. And I want to make sure that I'm making that clear because, we're talking about beer. We're talking about, specific things relating to what we were dealing with, but you may be dealing with something totally different. There may be a drug addiction. There may be food. There may be stress. There may, whatever it is, there's a lot of different variables. And so that's what goes wrong. That's why when we say we do it better, I learned through medical practice that when you go to the medical doctors and the medical professionals, they say let's make an appointment for 9 o'clock with 20 other people, and your appointment is supposed to be at 9 o'clock, but they're putting you in because of money. They're putting you in at 9, but you're not seeing a doctor until 10:30, 11, 12, sometimes not even until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because they're trying to cram in as many people as they can so they can get that check. That's not how I operate. I operate on a first come, first served basis. You can come and check it out. We can have a conversation about it. It's confidential because I'm a holistic health professional. I am trained and I am licensed as a therapist for specifically talking about those things. So I'm binded by the HIPAA rules, and not only that, but under the nonprofit organization as a religious organization, even though that's not what I consider myself, we also have those things that protect your privacy. So anybody ever wants to talk about those things in specific, you can always come through Apache Underground or come to me directly, and we'll go over those things in specific because it's a wide, broad topic, and it's not general. It's not a general. It's not a general answer because everybody is different, and everybody needs different treatment.
Okay, thanks for that. And then to finish it off, Apache Underground. We play basketball at Brangle Terrace Park Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 p.m. This is a club now. Our club pricing is $60. That's the general. There's going to be a special invitational membership pricing that's going to be for certain individuals, athletes, sponsored athletes, and things like that. And for those members, if you're interested, let us know. Those memberships are going to be $100 monthly, and those get a few extra items and perks that the regular club won't get. Our products, like I was saying earlier, we got jerseys for $30. We got T-shirts for $25 and some for $21, depending on prints and what you're looking for. We got our Powwow Protein. It's $45. It comes in two different flavors. It's chocolate and vanilla. Our next thing is we got Warrior Body BCAAs. We got Geronimo pre-workout. That's before your to get your pump right before your workout, and then your creatine, and that's to help your muscles with the growth and recovery. Some of the services that we offer, Fonz already mentioned it. He's a holistic health professional. I do personal training. He can do the same thing. We do one-on-one coaching. We do team coaching. I do scouts and tryouts. If you're looking for to be scouted or trying out, I can do that. And when I do that, I do film. And if you want film on your own, you can get an edited video for $200, or an edited or unedited one for $100. And that's our price list there. Hey, you got anything else to add there, Fonz?
No, I'm just I'm looking good here, and just want to thank everybody for their time, and we look forward to the next episode, baby.
Right on. Well, with that being said, here's a word from our sponsor, and we will be back at another time. Until next time. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm here to talk to you today about Apache Underground workout supplements. Right here you see me using the Geronimo pre-workout. Tastes great, works even better. Great for drive and focus right before your workout. We also got another couple of great products like the Powwow Protein and vanilla. There's the Geronimo pre-workout. We got Powwow Protein and chocolate, and we also got the Warrior Body BCAAs. Try them all today. www.apache